Hi, happy Thanksgiving. It's me, your favorite vegan chef, EJ. There could be a couple of reasons that you're clicking on this video. It could be, if you're like me, that you've been vegan for some time, and Thanksgiving and the holidays in particular are super anti-friendly. Or maybe you click on this video because, like me, you are trying desperately to convince your mother that you do not belong at the children's table. You are 25 years old. We are going to be taking a look at 4 recipes today that are side dishes, obviously, and we are going to make them 100% vegan. Now, to those people who would say, well, vegan food is bad or vegan food is not as good as normal food, I want you to look at me. Look at me. I want you to say this with me. My food is weak because my imagination is weak. Say it. No, go ahead. My food is weak because my imagination is weak. Well, I feel like we all learned something about ourselves there. We're going to start with my favorite. I think that this belongs at every Thanksgiving celebration, and that is green bean casserole. Green bean casserole is 2 things. It is green beans, and unlike the name suggests, it is not casserole, but soup. You can go with getting a can of Campbell's cream and mushroom soup. You could also just punch yourself in the head 6 times. So we got our beans in boiling water. Let them hang out, let them relax. It's been a long year for everybody, even if you're beans. And we have our bowl of ice water at the side ready to go once that 5-minute timer goes off. You obviously need to start with some mushrooms. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your mushrooms and you're gonna smash each of them like the hopes and dreams of Trump supporters on November 3rd. Once your little dirt nuggets are all nice and depressed, give them a little pep talk. I love you. And then go ahead and chop them into tiny little pieces. So right now what we're doing is we're dropping our beans into the ice water. This is gonna halt the cooking process. It's going to shock the beans like a Republican senator finding out that you don't have to swear in the Bible. We got a bunch of onions that are going into these recipes. I'm gonna show you how to do an onion dice. You wanna top and tail, remove the skin. Don't be shy. Look at that, you look great. Dicing an onion, really simple. You wanna cut down in long lines like this along the onion. I actually need to sharpen my knife, it's not sharp enough. Hold on. Now you want to take it, and you want to, at an angle, cut down through the onion, and then when you dice, you'll end up with nice little onion chunks. All right, your father had to make a quick run to the liquor store because we forgot wine when we first did our groceries, and we also picked up a little treat for ourselves. I don't say this very often, but it's soup time. Medium heat. You're gonna get 4 tablespoons of butter. You know what they say about butter? Slows down your arteries and also slows down time. Now that the butter's melted down a little bit, we are also gonna add a little bit of olive oil to this. Once the butter's a little melted, pan's nice and hot, we're gonna go ahead and add our onions. Oh my God. Take advantage of any time that you're, waiting for things to cook, sizzle. Let yourself relax a little bit, you deserve it. Once those onions have gotten soft and a little translucent, you want to go ahead and add your garlic and just let the garlic cook for about 60 seconds. So, I'm not gonna lie, I was just talking to myself while I did a lot of those steps because the camera stopped recording. As we added in our mushrooms, we let them get nice and sweated out like the side of Rudy Giuliani's head during a press conference. We added our wine, which we are now letting cook out for about 3 minutes. I also like to drink while I'm cooking. Today I went with a 25-ounce Michelob Ultra because I want my drink to say that I'm trying to watch out for my health, but I'm still a human piece of garbage. We're gonna go ahead and add in our flour. And then we're gonna come in and add our stock. And we just wanna cover everything we've made so far. You wanna salt. You wanna make like the back of your dad's jeans and crack in some pepper. Reduce your heat to a simmer, cover, and let that hang out for about 15 minutes.
It smells good.
It smells good in here. It smells good in here. I'm just making soup. That we've reduced our soup like our friends list over the course of 2020. We're gonna go ahead and add in the good stuff. That coconut cream. And I bet you this whole time you're like, that doesn't look like cream mushroom soup. That looks like dog vomit. Well now, look who's laughing. Now that your soup actually looks like soup, what you're gonna want to do, you're gonna want to taste for seasoning, especially because we're using coconut milk, which can sometimes be a little sweeter. Just give it a little. Salt, pepper, a little more time. And don't tell Erica about this because she doesn't like when I do this, but I really like it. Take a little pinch of the nutmeg. And the nutmeg really helps bring some of those flavors out. I'm not. Our beans are blanched. Our soup is souped. You can make your own French fried onions, but you can also make your own decisions and you still call your dad when there's something wrong with your car. I would say just go with store-bought. These are vegan. It's just green bean casserole. That's why these exist. Nobody gets these any other time of year. And dump some in with the beans themselves. Give them a little toss. Everybody, it's Erica! Yay! And just add the soup a little bit at a time. So we'll dump, I say a little bit at a time, so I dump literally all of it in. And use the whole can. Who cares? Literally, this is all you're gonna use these for. What are you gonna do? Sit in your pantry for the next 364 days? Move along. Go get yourself a drink. Look pretty somewhere else. We have our beans and our soup in a nice little casserole dish. And you're gonna throw it in the oven about 400 degrees for about 15-20 minutes, just until everything gets nice and bubbly. Now we're gonna do something a little more contentious. Stuffing. Stuffing obviously gets its name from being stuffed inside the cavern of a bird, but we're just gonna make it in the oven. Also gonna be adding things like sausage, some vegan sausage, and a jalapeno to spice things up. And you don't have to spice things up like this, but you also don't have to comment on every microaggression that your family makes at dinner, and where's the fun in that? So I have some cornbread that I made this morning, just following the box instructions, and then we put it in the oven for about 25 minutes at 325, just to get all the pieces nice and crispy, because we're gonna be adding a lot of liquid back to this. We got our onion, which I already showed you how to chop up, so if you need to, I don't know, rewatch the first time that I chopped a freaking onion. We are going to top and tail, slice them right down the middle, and then we're gonna chop them into nice little pieces. And one real way to get rid of the skins, and that's to crush them and finely chop. Taste the pepper that you're using. So just cut off the little nubby end. Take a bite. Okay. So this one's a little more mild, so I can probably use just about the whole thing. If you don't want your family to be fighting over the bathroom after Thanksgiving dinner, you're gonna wanna take the seeds out. And then you can just go in with your knife and remove the fleshy seed part like that. And finely chop. In a pan, medium heat, a little bit of oil, the God's Abomination veggie sausages. Now that our sausage is cooked, we're gonna set that to the side. So using the same pan, we're gonna throw in our butter. You might be saying to yourself again, well, that's a lot of butter. Well, it's Thanksgiving, so mind your manners. Once the butter is almost melted down, go ahead and add your onions and your celery. We're gonna go ahead and add in our garlic. And then right as that becomes fragrant, you're gonna go in with your wine. Heat our spices, toss them in. Jalapeno, since we didn't do that. So, the next piece, now that we have all of our veggies done, nice and sauteed, are chopping up our sausage, which I already did, and then we are gonna make some vegan versions of eggs. So this is Bob's Red Mill Egg Replacement. You get about 34 eggs from this one bag. Erica, how much is this bag?
It was less than $10.
Less than $10. So, I don't know, 12 eggs is probably like $1.50, so you're probably paying 300% of the prices you normally would for eggs. What'd you say? $7. Oh, so not nearly as bad. We're gonna add a little bit of our veggie stock.
You have to let it form an egg substance.
Oh, let it sit for 1 minute to thicken.
Yeah, it's gotta thicken.
If only it took me 1 minute to get thick. And we're gonna take our vegetable stock, And we're gonna add about 3/4 of a cup, maybe a half cup, cornbread pieces, our onions, celery, and jalapeno, our liquid mixture, which is again those substitute eggs, and our vegetable broth. So after you fill all of that, you're gonna remember that you have the sausage here and you didn't grease your original tray. You're gonna cover with foil, cook for 40 to 45 minutes at 350, and then you're gonna remove the foil and cook it for about 10 more minutes at 425. Okay. This is taking a lot longer than I thought it was gonna take. Mashed potatoes and everybody's favorite sprout, the Brussels. Super easy, and they can cook while you have other things going in the oven, which is what I really love. Is we're trying to add a little more color to our plate by making them purple mashed potatoes, and we're gonna do that with a little garlic, butter, and wine. Chop the potatoes into cubes, rinse them 2 or 3 times to get the excess starch out, and then let them dry. That's really gonna make a difference when it comes to the fluffiness of the potatoes. I'm gonna let those sit for about 15 minutes in the boiling water until they are just soft. Take some oil, salt and pepper these bad boys. Oh, gentle. Ooh. These are gonna go in the oven for about 20 minutes at 425 degrees. So while your potatoes are catching on fire, a little pan going with some butter. Once the butter gets a little bit melty, you're gonna go ahead and add your garlic in. It's the holidays. We're gonna go ahead and toss a lot more butter in. Now that the butter and the garlic have been hanging out for a little bit, we're gonna come in with what is gonna make our purple mashed potatoes purple, and that is a little bit of red wine. Took the potatoes after boiling. They are knife tender, falling apart, and we rinse them in warm water again to get some of that excess starch off. And now we're gonna mash these and add in our red wine and butter mixture. Just gonna add a nice dollop of vegan sour cream and combine. And there you have it, baby boys and girls. Some creamy, dreamy, delicious purple mashed potatoes. All right, so our sprouts, they're nice and crispy now. A little bit of honey. Drizzle that over the top. Balsamic vinegar. Well, folks, we did it. Green bean casserole, cornbread stuffing, balsamic and honey Brussels sprouts, purple mashed potatoes, rolls. We got some fake turkey from Aldi. Blessed Aldi. An entirely vegan, 100% delicious Thanksgiving dinner. A lot of people are gonna say, oh, but it's expensive to eat vegan. Oh, but it's this, but it's that. And the total receipt came out to $58.78. So very reasonable if you're gonna have 6 people over for about $10 a head. You get 100% vegan. Make some of these for your friends and family who might be vegan and have a